I want to talk about how stress is killing you. So every doctor, I just made a video about anxiety, but every doctor will tell you the main thing that's killing and ruining and destroying your life is stress. Every young doctor agrees with it, and every old doctor will swear by it. Every doctor that's been around about 30 or 40 years, they know that stress causes most stomach problems throughout people in the world. Well, it's actually not in the world. It's in third world countries they have very low stress. It's in the modern countries. I mean, you can look up one survey after another. I mean, there's thousands of them. In the modern countries like America, England, Australia, Canada, these countries are the least happiest countries because they have the most things like items. They have the biggest houses, the best cars, etc., the highest incomes. And we say to ourselves that all those things are really good for us. But the truth is, to get those things, if you want to get those things in your life, it takes a lot of stress and a lot of work to get up every day, 6 days a week, and go and get these items in your life. They don't have these things in third world countries, so they don't dream about having a $500,000 house, so there's no stress involved at all. I mean, let's get back to stress. Now, so stress, if this is news to you, I mean, you must be living in a cave somewhere. Everybody would agree that stress breaks down the cells in your body. And you can be a Christian and believe that God created us, or you can be a non-Christian and believe that, we came from cells in the water, and, you understand what I'm saying. Whichever way you believe, it's still the same truth that stress will kill those cells in your body. I mean, they've done studies that they watch the cells under great amounts of stress, and the cells actually right there start to break down and become deformed and malfunctioning. There's something about stress. I mean, it is a fascinating subject, but I'm here to, I'm just making this video to bring up the point that stress is probably killing most of your life. Stress probably has you running in circles all day long, running to the grocery store, running to the gas station, running the kids to soccer, running to school, running to work, running to work, running to work. You got to run down and pay the electric bill, run over here, run over there. You got to go to your bank. You got to pay your taxes. Then you got to pay more taxes. Then you got to pay your state taxes, then your federal taxes, then your house taxes. I'm telling you, the stress. If I could give young people one piece of advice, I'd say find a bunch of old people and ask them how you should live your life. If you're a young person, go to a nursing home and ask a bunch of elderly people what is the best way to live. You will avoid about 90% of all the stress in your life and all the extra bull crap stuff, the stuff that doesn't even matter. The stuff, and boy, we can all agree on this one, the stuff that you put like 300 or 400 hours into, you gave it your all, and after all of that, it failed, and it didn't even work, and it came to nothing. And it caused all this stress in your life. We have all been in a situation like that. I mean, at least a few times in our life, if you've lived a long life. I think young people today are, they're shutting off. They're saying, wait a minute, you want me to go to college? And then you want me to go, 12 years of school, 13 years of school, 4 years of college, 2 years of graduate school. You want me to owe $100,000 on a student loan, and you want me to go out there, and after I do all of that, see, this is what young people are saying. After I do all of that, you're telling me that's just the beginning. And now I have to go get a job for $70,000 a year and pay it all back, work 70 hours a week for 30 years to get a house and 2 cars. But actually, it won't be the same cars you had when you started. You'll be on your 5th or 6th brand new car because, that kind of lifestyle, you got to keep going and going and going. And then pretty soon you wake up, you're 60 years old, and your body is saying, hey, man, you really stressed us out for the last, 50 years. You might have $1 million in the bank, but you can't even jog for 1 block. Or you couldn't do 100 jumping jacks without falling over because of the last 30 years, 40 years of that stressful lifestyle. Stress. This is the thing I want you to hear today. And I want you to take the steps to correct it. Stress is killing your entire life. And actually, my friends, stress is starting with your body, your flesh, your mind. Stress is killing your flesh. It's funny. I was sitting at a grocery store right when it closed the other day. And I watched a girl jump out of the car. I mean, completely stressed out. She runs to the front door of this grocery store. She was actually looking at her phone and running towards the door at the same time. I don't even know how people do it. But she wasn't that young. She was about 35 years old. That's young to me. And she runs right up to the automatic door thinking it's going to open, and the store has been closed for about 20 minutes. So she gets out of her house, jumps up. I have to run down to the grocery store, at 11:30 at night. I have to get on my phone. I have to start running. I have to find out what I want. I have to run into this grocery store, and she ran right towards the door. And guess what? They were closed. And she ran. I'm sitting, I'm watching the whole thing. She runs face first right into a closed door. And she's got her hand out and her phone in front of her, and she thinks that the door's going to open, and she's going to run through. And so her hand hits the door first with the phone, and her body keeps going forward, and while her body's going forward, her hand's now coming backwards, and she punches herself in the face with her cell phone. I actually wish I had a video of it, because then I'd get 1 million hits and then I'd be rich. I'm not kidding. She's 35 years old. Whoa! I don't know what her situation was in life, but she was in like a $50,000 Lexus at 35 years old. Bam! Hand hits the door. Cell phone and hand come back towards the face. Body keeps going forward. Smash! Collide! And she stands there confused. I mean, I'm talking totally confused. And what does she do? She takes 2 steps back. She looks at the door and tilts her head and hits the door with her foot like it's going to open. And there's a big, huge sign right in front of her face that says, closed at 11 p.m. Now that is what I'm talking about. I see this, you see it, everybody sees it all day long. Stress, the message of this video, stress is killing your entire life.